Walking Street. If Pattaya Nightlife was a movie, this would be the opening credits. Neon signs stacked higher than the buildings they're bolted to, music blasting from every direction, and a constant stream of people moving as if the pavement itself was on a travelator.
For joining us.
You got walls and a roof. Well,
but here's the thing. If you haven't been here for a few years, you might walk down the street and think you've taken the wrong turn into another country. The faces, the voices, the food smells drifting through the air. It's all changing, and the change isn't subtle. The whole street has a new soundtrack. Let's rewind. Go back a decade, maybe even just 5 years, and you'd see a very different picture. The street was a magnet for Western tourists, lads on their first trip to Thailand, older expats who knew every barmaid by name, and the backpackers looking for the sort of cultural exchange they wouldn't tell their parents about. The soundtrack back then was dominated by live bands and classic rock. Every third bar had a Thai band cranking out Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses, and Bryan Adams covers. The rest, well, they blasted chart-topping dance hits or pulsing house music. Beer towers were practically a required table decoration. And if you didn't have a chang in your hand, you were probably holding a bucket of something mixed with Red Bull, strong enough to restart a dead car battery. The food options, well, they were mostly there to soak up the alcohol. Kebabs, pizza slices, fried chicken. It was fuel, not cuisine. Then the shift started. Not like a big bang, but more like someone slowly changing the radio station without you noticing. First, a few Indian restaurants appeared at the southern end of Pattaya. A couple of clubs started hosting Bollywood-themed nights once a week. And then, almost overnight, those nights were every night. Now, Indian music isn't an occasional flavour here. It's the main course in more and more venues. Where you once heard Living on a Prayer echoing down the street, now you hear Bhangra beats, Hindi lyrics and Bollywood remixes of Western pop songs. And it's not just the music, the crowds changed too. Instead of mostly Western guys in flip-flops and football shirts, you see sharply dressed groups of Indian men, couples arm in arm, and mixed groups celebrating birthdays, weddings, or just the fact they're in Pattaya for the first time. And the business owners aren't stupid. They saw the trend, and they adapted fast. Menus got translated into Hindu, drink packages started catering to big groups rather than those solo bar hoppers, DJs learned how to mix a Punjabi wedding anthem seamlessly into Calvin Harris. Even the street itself seems more tailored. Billboards advertising curry buffets sit right next to neon signs for go-go bars. In South Pattaya, the smell of butter chicken mixes with the smoke from shisha pipes outside an Arab-owned lounge. There are streets here where you can go from a masala dosa to a mint-flavoured hookah without walking more than 20 steps. The change has brought money, and lots of it. Group bookings, full restaurant tables and packed clubs means the tills are ringing, but it's a different type of spend. Instead of one guy buying a lady drink for a whole shift, you might get a table of 8 ordering 2 bottles of whiskey, a mountain of food, and then moving on to the next venue. If you're filming from the entrance end of Walking Street, you'll notice the flow of people is different now. There's a buzz earlier in the evening because dinner and clubbing are linked. Many groups hit a restaurant first, then the clubs in a coordinated march that almost looks rehearsed. The music's louder, the crowds are bigger, and the dance floors are busier earlier. There's a lot more video recording too, phones out, documenting every step, selfie sticks in the air, friends making sure the night is captured from all angles. It feels more like an event now rather than a random pub crawl. Ask an old school regular what they think of the new scene and you'll get a range of answers. Some miss the old days, the quieter, grimier, more Western focused chaos. Others say the new energy is keeping the place alive, pumping fresh money into the venues that might otherwise have struggled. There are cultural differences in how nights out are approached. Westerners often bar hop, talking to staff, buying drinks and drifting between venues. Many of the newer visitors travel in groups. They stick together and keep moving on a planned route. That means some bars do brilliantly, while others don't get a look in. Here's the truth. Walking Street has never had a one fixed identity. It's always been a reflection of who's spending money in Pattaya at that moment. In the 90s, it was mostly Western. In the 2000s, you got more Russians, and now it's Indians, Arabs, and a small splattering of Westerners and Chinese tourists. It's a melting pot that changes flavour every few years. And if there's one thing this city's nightlife does well, it's adapt. That's why the lights are still on, the music's still pumping, and the people still fly halfway across the world to walk this street. This is the surface version, the PG edit that YouTube will let me get away with. But there's a lot more happening here after midnight, and even after 2 AM, that I can't show you here without a polite email from the algorithm police. So, if you want to see the uncut version, the full walk, the real nightlife stories, and yes, the things YouTube won't touch, well, that's all over on Patreon. The links are below, just don't watch it at work. Remember to subscribe, share, like the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.